Hello, everyone. How are we doing? Welcome to the Mindful 24. Today I will be talking about the healing processes um, to traumatic experiences or PTSD. Last time I talked about the challenges according to the best of my knowledge. Today I will be talking about the healing processes. I would be looking at temporary healing processes and permanent healing processes. In this content, in this video, I may not cite sources, but the informations I will be giving to you are informations that have been done out of survey, out of interview and discussions with people, as well as my own personal experiences. So let's get into what we have for today. Like I said, we'll be talking about the healing processes to traumatic experiences or PTSD. Firstly, I want to identify one of the temporary solutions, temporary relief to as a healing process to or healing instruments to traumatic experience or PTSD, and that temporary relief would be medicine. Medicine can do a temporary relief of from traumatic experiences and PTSD or PTSD. However, medication alone is just temporary and cannot give you the desired results of a permanent recovery. Yes, because temporarily medication will do that for you, temporary relief, but if something reoccurs similar to what happened, or maybe for some reasons you witnessed an event, it could bring about that experience again. So just so you are aware that yes, medication could solve it, but it is just a temporary relief. The next point I would want to highlight would be this. Every traumatic experience is done to the body. Every traumatic experience is stored in the body. Every PTSD is stored in the body. And so, every trauma you go through was done to your body. Yeah. It could be either your mind, it could be either your emotion, it could be either your body, but whatever parts you want to mention, every traumatic experience is stored in the body because they were done to the body. It could be directly to the body or indirectly. And so, if every traumatic experience is stored in the body because it was done to the body, resources would not be able to solve that problem. Why do I say so? And what do I mean by resources? I mean, for every traumatic experience you go through or that is stored in your body, it either affects a part of your body, either your soul or your mind or your flesh, your skin. It always affects one of those. And it could either affect your self-esteem, your self-worth, your environment, your listening capacity, your speaking capacity, even your social capacity. It could affect many areas connected to your body. And when it affects these areas, or whenever a trauma is stored in the body because of a moment or an event, it makes you seek other things that should not give you fulfillment. It makes you seek other things for fulfillment that should not give you what? Fulfillment. Now, therapy can do a lot. I did not like therapy before, truth be told. But I started understanding therapy. I started knowing what therapy is all about and getting to know what it's all about. Now, therapy is good. Therapy just relieves you for a moment. It makes you feel good. And sometimes therapy could destroy you. Yeah. Every advantage has a disadvantage. Therapy could destroy you. Yeah. But therapy never solves a traumatic experience. No. Why? Because you have a major part to play in your healing process. And I will come to that, to this third point that I'm about to speak about. The third point that I'm about to speak about is that if it takes an individual or people to cause a trauma, then it will take an individual or people to bring about health. Yes, it will take an individual or people to bring about what? Health. Let me give an example. If your arm is pulled out, is broken, for your arm to function, there must be either a metal arm fixed to replace the one that was off or broken. You can't use a leg. You can't use my leg to replace my broken arm or my amputated arm. No. For every individual and people that caused a trauma, it requires an individual or people to bring about health. Now, does this mean that the person who has this trauma would not play a part? No, they have to play a part. But it takes people, an individual to bring about health. One individual I would like to suggest would be Jesus Christ. And the reason why I'm suggesting Jesus Christ is because from historical facts, I don't care about your bias or whatever. From historical facts, he went through an experience that was traumatic. Believe it or not, it is true. It's on record. And so he has a capacity to solve that. Do you play a part in it? Yes. But he has a capacity to solve that. Another group of people that I feel that will be able to solve a traumatic experience are qualified people. And when I mean qualified people, I mean people who have recovered from their own traumatic experiences. I'm not saying people who are in the process. I'm saying people who have recovered from their traumatic experiences. To minister health to people with traumatic experience, you must have enough energy in you. And this energy is born out of your recovery, your resilience, your recovery. So if you have recovered, then you are qualified to bring health to people with traumatic experience. I will come back next time to talk about these evidences. See you next time. Keep watching the Mindful 24. Bye. And keep watching.